Today on Dirt Road Cred Jeep News 2025, there are some brand new colors that are available to order on the Wrangler and Gladiator. A famous trim has returned for you to order, and an interesting twist with a patent released from Jeep. Let's talk about it today and get started. Before we get too far into this video, we wanted to take just a moment and honor two members of our Jeep community that have recently passed away. Christina and Josh Gilson, a few days ago, passed on from an unfortunate accident, and they were very, very positive members of our community. I had the chance quite a few times to talk to them through social media platforms, and they were always so great and so helpful to me and supportive of our channel. And I know that a lot of the community knew them as well. And it's a really hard blow for us to hear that two of such positive people have passed on and unfortunately left behind their young ones. So if you guys are looking and you wouldn't mind, just keeping them in your thoughts and prayers would be huge for us, and I'm sure for the family as well as the rest of the Jeep community. You can follow them at the Rubistina or Rubistina on Instagram. We'll drop the handle below. But their oldest, Josh, he's 16, and he made a post about them. So I would say go on there, follow along if you guys are looking for a way to help. But a super huge hit, a tragic loss for the entire community, two fantastic people. But we just wanted to take a moment to honor them in the beginning of this video. Well, thank you guys for tuning back into another Dirt Road Cred video. It is the year 2025, and this is the first edition of Dirt Road Cred Jeep News in this year, and I am hoping that this is the first of very many videos. It seems like with the old management kind of exiting the building, we are already seeing a lot happening on the back end and now brought up to the front end where you guys can actually order some really cool new colors and order a favorite of mine, a cool trim for the Wrangler. So let's get into it right now. Colors have been released. So let's talk about it because this is one that we've actually been, I know Ryan and I, quite excited, a couple of these colors, especially one. But the 2025 Jeep Gladiator has added on 3 additional colors to be ordered. It's missing one that we really wanted to see, but those colors for the Jeep Gladiator are going to be the 41, the Fathom Blue, and the Mojito Clear Coat. Really, really good looking colors there and a good addition to the Gladiator. Now, from what we can tell on the back end, none of these are going to be limited runs as they're all the standard price for the paint code, as well as the fact that none of them say limited edition. So the 41, let's start with that color. We have a 41 2025 two-door, and that is an awesome, amazing color. We've kind of been excited to see what it would look like on the Gladiator. Hopefully we might be able to render one out and kind of check out what that looks like. But we have been seeing some guys that are ordering 41s, getting them fully color matched in the Rubicon X, and they look terrific. The next one, Fathom Blue. Ryan thinks that this is probably going to be a really cool color on the Gladiator. That's a truck color. You know, we saw, it's like a Patriot Blue, it reminds me of. It's commonly found on the Ram 1500s, 2500s. I actually had a Cummins that was Patriot Blue, so I think it's a little darker than that from what we've seen, but that might be neat on the Gladiator.
Yeah.
I think it has a longer ability to kind of show off the color. You have the whole bedside, but Fathom Blue available on the Gladiator. And then something we've never seen on that Jeep, Mojito. So Mojito, that's a bright color. It's got a ton of flake in it. I think it'll look good on the Gladiator just because I know I like the Gecko on the Gladiator, that was like, what, 2 months that you could order a Gecko Gladiator? I see one rolling around our town here. We actually built one too, and we put a little lift and wheels and tires. That was a nice color on the Gladiator. And the cool thing with the Gladiator is in a lot of these trims, you can actually get the color match fenders just right away from the factory. So like the Willys trim, some of the Sport S's, the Nighthawks, they come with color match fenders compared to the Wrangler, which doesn't. So you'll get a lot more color on the Gladiator depending on what you choose. But right now, as the posting of this video, all 3 of those brand new colors are available. They're all listed at $595 too, as far as pricing. So they're not limited run colors that were, like my bikini was like $895 for a paint color. So you should be able to order these for quite some time, but man, I think like a Mojave X in that 41 would probably be my go-to. Drop a comment below if you're a Gladiator guy or gal, what color out of those 3 is your most favorite, or what color you would like to see return to the Gladiator. I think a lot of people miss the Gator on the Gladiator. There's a guy that lives right by us that has a Mojave Gladiator, and I love the look of that thing. So I think the 41 will take its place and look really cool on it. But the coolest thing for us though is that the new year just started a few days ago, and Jeep is already rolling out these new colors. While we knew about them coming out, we saw them in the brochure, we saw them on the back end, we did not know when it was going to come out, but it already seems like with the old leadership exiting, this is going to be a quicker recovery plan than we're used to. And hopefully with that, we see some cool trims and some new packages coming out. But yeah, while we knew these colors were in the works, scheduled to come out, it's nice to see them coming out as early as they are in the year, because typically it would be like a March time frame, and that's initially what they had slotted as well. But speaking of trims, Jeep has just announced that the final edition of the 392 is revealed for 2025. We don't have photos of it yet, so to see if there's anything changed, but from the back end, it looks like the exact same 27J or something like that. That was the 2024 final edition. And, you know, we thought about this for a while. Is this going to become the last run? Is it actually going to come out? They talked about the 2025 coming out for quite some time, but I think with the old leadership, they really weren't sure when it was going to come out, or if they were just going to kind of let it fall to the wayside with the push for electrification. But you can now, as of this speaking, go on and order a 2025 Rubicon 392 final edition. The cool thing with this, right? So they brought some new colors for the Gladiator. The final edition 392 for this year will also have the addition of the 41 and the Mojito color. Mojito I'm excited to see, but 41 I'm most excited to see on the 392. I think that color with bronze accents is going to look just tremendous. Because we never saw that color. We saw Sarge green, which Sarge is cool. It's like a deeper forest green. It's a flat color. But we never got to see what a 41 or a Gator. A lot of people said Gator would look sick on the 392. This is about as close to Gator as you can get with the 41 color, and I think it's going to look crazy. Same with the Mojito, Ryan. I think that and the gold accent. The gold has flake. The bronze has flake in it, and so does Mojito. And actually, one of our followers, Shocker Racing, had completely ripped apart his 392, took it down to like bare frame and bare tub, and had it actually painted out in Mojito. So I'm sure he might be kicking himself a little bit now that they are releasing it as a factory color. But maybe we'll post up a photo of that to kind of see what you could expect. But I think that's going to look really, really nice. The only thing I'm not liking with the new 392 or the 2025 is, of course, the pricing. MSRP 101. Whew. These have gone up. I mean, they have gone up incredibly high since 2021. And at $101,000, it is a big chunk of change for a vehicle like this. I'm glad it's staying. We didn't really see a pricing change on it. It didn't go up, but it also didn't come down at the same token. So a little bit interesting there. The one thing that I did see on the back end too that's kind of nice, the black vinyl floor covering is now available on the 392. So if you guys don't know, Jeep has their own kind of washable flooring, just like the Armorlite, and Armorlite is the one that produces it for Jeep. So you're basically getting all that from the factory. Saves you a few hours of wrenching on your Jeep, and it's now a factory installed component, meaning that it has the full warranty of the vehicle with it as well. So pretty cool there, and just some more options for us to order. What's going on, guys? Well, today is a snow day, as you can see behind me here in PA, but we're always trying to get the news out just as quick as possible. So from the start of this filming of this news video is kind of interesting because we actually got an Instagram message that some of these 4xe Willys editions were starting to show up in person. And I was like, man, how are they getting there that quick? And we haven't heard any news about it. Well, in fact, there are a few of them, and there was one in Colorado. There's actually a couple here local to us, but they're starting to get the dealership images. So people are getting them in. They're checking them out. I mean, the prices on these things are insane. The one that we saw was like $70-some thousand. And I mean, it's just crazy. They do look badass though. I mean, in person, it looks fantastic. And I think what we need to do in the next few days or maybe the next few weeks is actually go check one out in person. Maybe we'll drive ours that we've already done some 41 edition, the DRC 41 edition to, and just kind of put them next to each other. And maybe we'll get some tips and tricks. One thing that I saw, and we talked about in our color match video, was the fact that they actually got a Wrangler decal custom made for the 41 edition, and it is in the military script font in the anvil or that blue drab. That's a great idea, and Jeep, we might have to take that idea from you and put it underneath ours, because we were actually talking about removing the factory Wrangler decal, but would we put something else? I think we might steal that idea and put it on ours, because that was a really, really good idea. Or maybe we'll change it up and make it our own. But we wanted to talk a little bit about it because the news comes in just as quick as possible. I mean, even while we were filming, they uploaded the Gladiator in 41 up on the website, so we didn't even have to render it out. But just wanted to get this to you quick. It is a snow day. We're about to go have some fun in these Jeeps here. But yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. We might have to go check one out in person, but you got to let us know if we should. And another interesting little tidbit, I'm not sure if Jeep's doing it just to kind of show off what they got, but they've been releasing a lot of patents. If you guys haven't watched our latest video, a couple back, they actually patented the drop-down brush guard, which we've been waiting forever for them to do. We actually debated building one of our own and just launching it, but they have patented a drop-down brush guard, and that's gone through and all its revisions and fancy paperwork. So that's come out. But a really interesting one is that they've actually filed a patent for a drone that follows your Jeep off-road. So I'm not sure how they're going to work that out. Cool. It's cool, but what are you going to, like, how are you going to do that? Is it going to be DJI based, or like, I'm not sure what they're going to use the platform for. Now, something like this would be incredible for us because Ryan and I, when we go out and film our off-roading adventures, it is hard. It is very tricky. We have 3 or 4 camera guys out there. Ryan's out of his Jeep. I'm out of my Jeep. We're trying to spot, look, all sorts of stuff. So a drone like this might be helpful when you're out on the trail to help navigate what's coming up ahead of you, or maybe just capture really good footage of it. But I know it wouldn't be as helpful as Onyx Off-Road, who is the sponsor of today's video. If you guys haven't checked out Onyx Off-Road, it is one of the best tools you can keep in your Jeep when you're off-roading and exploring unknown trails and areas around you. Onyx Off-Road features all sorts of mapping capabilities, including trail descriptions, photos, and much more that you can actually check out right on the application and pop it up on Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. A huge thank you to Onyx Off-Road for sponsoring this video and being a continued supporter of Dirt Road Cred's journey. If you guys want to check them out and save a little bit of money, we will leave a link down below as well as the coupon needed. So maybe the drone is going to be used as like an artificial intelligence spotter for when you're out on the trail, because we were talking about it off camera here. I'm trying to think of what the usefulness of this could be, but if it would hover at about the same height as what your Jeep or eye level is sitting and face you as you're driving and kind of show you or relay that information to your screen and show you what obstacles you're about to come up on, that might help if you're wheeling by yourself, or you're trying to film yourself wheeling, or you're the number one in your lead group, you're the leader in it, and you're going up the obstacle first. But is it too much tech to worry about off-road too? Was it going to lose wireless signal? Was it going to lose all that other stuff? But as a digital spotter, that would be cool. I would use it as that. I think that would be, if it could just fly up ahead of you and just kind of...
Almost like the front-facing camera.
But just facing you. Yeah. And record it too. We've always argued too, why isn't the front-facing camera recording? That would be so sick if you could actually click record on the front-facing camera and just have it go to that hard drive, which is already in your Jeep inside your Jeep, and then you could upload it onto a USB stick and we could use it. Because that would be a perfect camera angle, you know? But what do you guys think about this drone? Let's keep it light. Let's keep it real. Is this just like a marketing ploy to catch people like us that are going to talk about it on YouTube and social media? And obviously it was picked up by a lot of news outlets because that's where I read it. So do you think this is actually going to become true, or is it, I've read this somewhere, that companies just patent things like this so no one else can do it? So like they'll just patent the brush guard, never release it, but that way they know that like Bronco or an aftermarket guy can't do it. They'll patent this drone thing and then never do it, but if Ford tries to do it, they'll be like, hey, we got the patent for it. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's just like a marketing ploy to try and show that like Jeep is hip and they're up with the tech and up with the times? Or do you think it's going to become a reality? I mean, it's a lot to patent a product. It takes time. It takes a lot of money and a lot of resources to do. So if they're going to be putting money into this for it to not become a reality, would be kind of surprising. But would you guys use a drone when you're off-roading? Let me know in the comments. Let us both know. As 2025 progresses, there is obviously a lot that is being released. So just for the past few weeks, there's been so much Jeep news that we're trying to get out to you guys because we like to be first in the market and also show this stuff off as soon as we're hearing it, either through the back end or hearing it through other sources, and just tell you guys what's going on. It seems like the Jeep news content always just resonates very well with our community because a lot of people not only are getting back into their first Jeep, but they also want to hear what's available, and you're not getting it from Jeep, so you might as well get it from Dirt Road Cred. If you guys haven't seen our 2025 two-door build, we just dropped the first video, so that is live. We actually did a ton of really cool parts on that, so we would love for you guys to go and check out that build, as well as give us some feedback and just follow along if you're interested in that style of build. We've been seeing a ton of 41 Jeeps being released and people coming out and going on the forums and posting theirs. So we definitely wanted to use this as a good example of what you can do with that style of build. And if you're curious about maybe ordering a 41, our build is a great way to see how it would look with certain transformations happening to it. But like we said before, we're gonna keep dropping the Jeep news just as quick as we get it. We don't know if it's gonna be every week, a couple times a week, or every other week. As soon as we hear about it, you guys will be the first to know on Dirt Road Cred. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Matt and Ryan's behind the camera. And we want you to get out there and earn yours.